countdown. No warnings. You found us. We don't introduce ourselves. You already know the sound. When the table goes quiet, that's the Syndicate now. No heroes, no villains, no saving face. Just pressure stacking at a ruthless pace. If you're still asking what this is about, you're already the one getting counted it out. We don't knock, we don't win, we don't fold, we escalate. One table, one code, one rule, survive. Welcome to the Syndicate. Now stay alive. Welcome to the Syndicate. Seats are filling. Nothing random remains. Lock it in. Let it ride. Every hand draws a line. No heroes, no villains, no saving face. Just pressure stacking at a ruthless pace. If you're still asking what this is about, you're already the one getting counted out. We don't knock, we don't wait, we don't fold, we escalate. One table, one code, one rule, survive. Welcome to the Syndicate. Now stay alive. Welcome to the Syndicate. From the table to dust, to the empire of flame, we carved our legacy, we branded the name. When the clock hits zero, fate bows to the brave. The Syndicate rises, and the world must cave.
Well, it has been a week of final tables so far. 2 more to go. This one and 1 more tomorrow. Tonight's final table, the Midnight Mixer. No Limit Hold'em, Pot Limit Omaha 8. Also known as High Low, is the game of choice. On this final table, top 6. Freakchild, Ika Kika, Lyrialis, Daniel Biscuit, Casely, and Boss vying for a title here in tonight's game. As everything gets set up to go, the Syndicate playing free-to-play poker at PokerNow.com, formerly PokerNow.club, but the Syndicate with their own site, SyndicatePoker.com. Check out player stats, games, series, and how to join the Syndicate. Session 2 about to take place here in about a week. But what's taking place right now? Shuffle up and deal. It's Boss, Freakchild, Ika Kika, Casely, Lyrialis, all making it on time tonight. Daniel Biscuit did not make it to the table tonight in time for the first deal. So Daniel Biscuit will automatically go out in last place for this game, in 6th place. But we will share the entire top 9 board of qualifiers for this series. Small series. Due to its time constraints and time frame, not everybody was able to get in on this one with the Syndicate. Bigger games coming here in the future, though. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, slap your sister till you're silly in the face. Whatever it takes to get the notifications of broadcasts here on the Syndicate YouTube channel. You never know when we got one coming up. All of our championships are always pretty much scheduled in advance. Boss and Freakchild going at this board head-to-head here with a couple of aces, a jack, a queen, a 10, a whole lot of stuff out there. And neither player can make a god-blessed thing. The board plays aces, a pair of aces with a jack-queen kicker, or queen-jack kicker, I should say. Freakchild and Boss sucking together as the board beats them both. They will split that pot. Ace, queen, 4 comes out. Queen of hearts, 4 of hearts, ace of clubs. Lyrialis is in on this hand. As we play 5 hands of No Limit Hold'em, then 5 hands of Pot Limit Omaha High, then 5 more hands of Pot Limit Omaha High Low, and then it'll rotate again. Another ace, king, queen heavy board. Players checking that one about. We have a winner on this one, though. Freakchild will take that with a pair of queens. 2 pair, actually. Aces over queens with a king kicker where the board plays. Blinds start out at 5,100. Everybody starts out with the deep stack at 10,000 in chips. In free-to-play poker, none of the players are wagering anything. It's all free-to-play. The Syndicate, one of the more extravagant bunch of free-roll players with PokerNow.com. Making waves and taking names. About to launch a new open house series to invite more players in to join them. So make sure to get over to SyndicatePokerClub.com to be on the lookout for all of that information. Casely timing out here on the option. 7-3-8. The board is heart heavy. Boss in the action will raise it up to a $1.60. A little over half the pot there. Nobody wants to play with those hearts. As we head off to a Omaha hand, players are dealt 4 cards. The blind structures are exactly the same as No Limit Hold'em. Small blind, big blind to the left of the dealer. Force bets before any cards are dealt. Then 4 cards are dealt to each player. Then the round of betting continues. Each player must use 2 cards from their own hand and 3 cards only from the board to make the best 5-card hand. In this case, we will have 3 of a kind kings River. Boy, this game is rigged if we're getting River. Runner on that one for Casely to grab 3-of-a-kind kings there. Leary Alice, Ika, Casely, all champions already. With the Syndicate overall, Leary Alice, the first Syndicate champion. Boss, Freechild, both looking for their first crown. Freechild actually won the series leaderboard of this series, the Midnight Mixer. We'll give you that leaderboard here momentarily. Everybody folding out to Leary Alice's bet here with a spade heavy board again. Ace 4-3, Ace 4 spades, 3 of diamonds. Boss has the first action here. Checks it over to Freechild. Everybody gets a free card. It's a turn, and it's a 4 hearts. Freechild bets up a 300 chip bet here. Casely says no thank you. And Boss will fold out. Freechild not showing off anything here as we head off to another hand. Trying to get this leaderboard to show for you guys here momentarily. It's my new word tonight. Ace Queen 6, rainbowed up. Got a pair of jacks sitting on the board here. Couple of clubs, couple of spades to go along with it all. Now we got a 10 jack queen of spades all in a row. Runner. Everybody checking it out for a free showdown. Boss with the flush on the 8. Boss will take some chips there into the stack here. Everybody playing a little conservative on this final table, looking for that championship title. Syndicate has already crowned out 6 championships already. 5. Count them, 5 out of the 6 are different. One player doubled up already. Freakchild bets up a 400 here. Ika will play along. Casely will head out the door on this one. Larry Alice as well. 2 of diamonds comes out. Freakchild just with a 200 chip bet, able to suck a little bit more out of Ika Kika there with the pair of kings. 2 pair. Both players trying to find a little something else to go with that. Never did hit for either one of them. Boss in the option here. Checks it out. 5-10 jack. We are club heavy on this flop again. Everybody checking it down so far. 9 of spades comes out on the river with a club heavy board. And everybody checking it down. 3 of a kind for Boss. Grabbing a 10 on the flop there for 3 of a kind 10s. And it held true all the way through to the end of the hand showdown. Boss, we don't get to see a lot of her on the live streams. Not playing nearly as much as the 2025 season. But still holding her own, making the final table on this series. Bring up some stats for you guys here in a moment. We don't want to block the action of the table because it's so intriguing. Casely with a big 750 bets the pot. Boss having to think, no go. Freakchild's out. Ika Kika says no thank you. Nobody looking to party with Casely on that one. Boss, who we have not seen on a live stream in a little bit, but has been out there playing, just not nearly as much as last season. Currently sitting 7th overall with the Syndicate in the 2026 season. And does have a 12.5 win percentage on the game series that she's played so far. So hanging out there, making some final tables, not playing nearly as heavy of a season as she did last year. But making it count when she does play, that's for sure. Ika Kika taking this one down, 2 pair, grabbing a king on the river. Bookends that one. As we said, we've kind of got the stats from, forget Poker Cat's crap there, because he's got the wrong game card there. And that is not quite correct. Something weird just happened on there since we had that built. That's almost right. There's 2 whatever. 2 things about. Anyway, that's about how it all came down, though. Freakchild, Ika Kika, Leary Alice, Daniel Biscuit, Casely, Boss, all in that order, 1st through 6th. Followed by Jam Rock and Roll, Biggie Large. Millie actually should be where it says Boss for the 2nd time. But that's how the Midnight Mixer series wound down at the end. Freakchild being the series leader there. But you got to take the final table to take the full crown. And we have taken quite a few of those here this season. Casely with a nice little hand there. As we round out the Omaha rounds here and head back into No Limit Hold'em. 2 cards to each player. And players can use as many cards as they want to make the best 5 card hand. They can be all on the board or they can be in the hand, 1 or 2. They don't have to use all of them. or whatever. You know what I mean. Best 5 cards and you've got one of them, you're good to go. And as we saw between Boss and Freakchild, you may not have a best card in your hand and you end up splitting the pot because the board beats you both. Is that called discipline play or is that called nit play, as we call it? Too afraid to put it in the middle when you're lying. Not a lot of bluffing there. Leary Alice and Ika Kika already about 1,000, 1,200 down. Well, 1,500 down there, roughly. Boss holding even about now. Casely, Freakchild, both sharing some chips out of Leary Alice and Ika right now. Boss and Casely going at this one. Ace of Spades comes out on the turn. So what happens when you pay for it? Jack of Clubs. And Casely will take it with a pair of 9s. Not a whole lot of massive action yet, but it will come as the blinds raise every 10 minutes. Syndicate Session 1 champions already. Look at that. We got 6 championships left, whatever, given away and earned. Godly, Casely, Ika Kika, all crowning up this season. Former winners of the 2025 season as well. But now Aaron Ramsey and Quadzilla. Quadzilla finally no longer the bridesmaid, took the Immortal earlier this morning. So Quadzilla finally able to get some crownage on top of his head there. Nine-7 of clubs, a 4 of diamonds. Everybody checking out for free cards right now.
Chips. That's not luck. That's legacy. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. Yeah, the Syndicate runs this town. From the underground up, we hold the crown.
Freakchild getting caught speeding there a couple hands ago. Casely taking down another hand there as everybody checks that one around. Freakchild just got caught speeding there. Looked like he tried to bet Casely out, who had 3 of a kind. Everybody's starting to grow a pair, to not sound so absolutely crude. As everybody's starting to get a little comfortable with the gameplay so far. The Midnight Mixer, final table, top 6. Minus Daniel Biscuit, who was a qualifier, did not make it to the table tonight. So we only have the 5 playing tonight. Boss would have 3 of a kind there. Five, King 9 comes out. 5 of spades, King of hearts. 9 of clubs. Also known as a rainbow flop. Jack of hearts comes out. And as we used to say, John Malkovich around. Check, check, check. Ika Kika had an ace 10 looking for something to go with that. Did not pan out there. Board is not playing well with the players tonight. Everybody trying to put something together, just not coming about yet. But it will. 6-9 and a queen. And now we're heart heavy with a 3 of hearts on the turn. Ace of clubs on the river. And Boss will get Leary Alice to fold out of that one. Had a low qualifier. We're on a high-low section of Pot Limit Omaha. Which means hands can be won with the best 5 cards and also the lowest of 5 cards from 8 and lower. Aces are high and low in poker. Or at least in all the variants that we play with the Syndicate. Boss in the action here with an 800 chip bet from Ika with a couple of aces on the board. King of spades comes out. Boss and Freakchild checking it down. Ika Kika going 32 on this. Boss folding out. Freakchild not wanting to go along with the ride either. So Ika will go back up to pretty much even now. And we see a flop with an ace 3-8. It's another rainbow with an ace of spades, a 3 of hearts, and an 8 of clubs. There's the dreaded 2 on the turn. We're writing a song about this. I swear to fucking God. The 2 on the turn is real. We already have the song Turn of Turmoil. We'll play that for you here in a little bit. We actually started playing it for you there a moment ago. The 2 always on the turn. The turnable twos? I don't know what we'll call it. There's a split pot there for Ika and Boss. Ika having the high hand. Boss with the low. Deuce 8 of clubs, Jack of spades. Everybody will see a free card on the turn here now. This time it is not a 2, it's an ace of clubs. And there's a 4 on the river. Card's apparently not helping anybody here. 2 pair for Boss. No low well, actually, sorry. I'll take that back. Casely did split that one up. Casely with the low qualifier there. As we head back into No Limit Hold'em. Which means we are over 30 hands into this game now. Could be 45 now. I think that's the third time. I'm not keeping track. That's not my job. My job's not statistics. Jack of spades comes out on the river. Casely having to think on this one in the action. Checks it out. And it'll be a checked out showdown. Casely with a pair of 9s. Adding some more chips there. And now with a decent sized chip lead. About $7,000 over Ika, who's the next in line there. Leary Alice can't get anybody to play with her on that one. Boss going up. Freak Child folds it out immediately. Pocket 8s for Boss. And speaking of pocket 8s, the game that we ran earlier in this session, Ika Kika won the Snowman Championship. Or actually won the series. That one did not come down to a final table, where you had to have pocket 8s in your hand at showdown and win the hand in order to gain bonus points. Casely won the high-speed chase, which also did not come down to a final table. That one was just a leaderboard win overall. And we'll break down the rest of them for you here momentarily after we get through a couple more hands here. King 6, 5 comes out on the flop. A 3 of spades on the turn. Now a 6 of diamonds on the river. Everybody's still checking everything down. Not a whole lot of aggression on tonight's table yet. Blinds are up at 100, 200 for about another minute and a half, and then they will jump up to 200, 400. Blinds raising every 10 minutes to keep the pace going. Otherwise, the game could go stagnant and last all night. Just as it happens to be in one of the Syndicate original poker songs, based off of real-life play on the PokerNow scene. Well, something called All In, All Night.
Sat down with a stack, feeling just right. Read the whole table like a book last night. But then a guy in Crocs and a cowboy hat and 7 deuce. Imagine that. Flop comes down, not a pair in sight. He rivered a straight, said, I just playing for the vibes, alright. All in, all night. These fuckers just can't play right. They call with trash, hit the light. I'm losing chips to fools in flight. Luck's on vacation, skills out of sight. Still I'm all in all night. Hands like this all night, one last try. Got kings in the hole, fell 10 feet high. Big blind calls with a face full of fries. Flop strips with a 9. I don't know why. He said 9's my lucky number, dude. I tipped my hat and ordered comfort food. I studied GTO solvers and charts. They study cartoons and follow their hearts. One guy said oops as he showed his hand. Flopped a full house with a beer in his pants. I cried inside but I kept my cool while the guy next to me played chess with a pool noodle. All in, all night. We're donkeys dancing, sharks lose fights. They hit their gut shots just for spite. I'm down to crumbs but still polite. If I go broke, at least I wrote this song. All in, all
True stories. Always with the Syndicate music. Including the truest story of all. Little song called Where's Chase? Backstory of the night that Chase became a character with the Syndicate. King Jack Deuce rainbowed up on this flop with Ika and Casely. On this last hand of pot limit Omaha High, we will now move to high-low. Ika taking that one down. Boss flexing some muscles here. Freachout currently the short stack. Even with Leary Alice's 1,400 chip bet there. Queen 4 ace comes out. Leary Alice likes it so much for $3,000, bets the pot. Boss says no thank you. And a no show from Leary Alice. Casely sitting this hand out with a deuce 10. Doyle Brunson on the board. Another 10 comes out. Super Doyle Brunson now. Boss will take it with the 2 pair. Nobody grabbing a low on that one. Not enough cards to qualify. Need at least 3 cards on that board to be 8 or lower for there to even be a possibility of a low hand. Boss in the action. Goes 1,000. Another queen comes out. The 2 pair of the board, queens and 9s. Three of a kind for Boss, but it is a full house for Freakchild, who went all in on that one. Flopped the boat. 9s over queens that then became queens over 9s. So Freakchild finally catching a break there after getting caught speeding a couple of times. Seven, deuce, 10. Back to really weird cards on the boards here. Ika Kika, 400 to go. Freakchild not liking that with his new stack. As everybody kind of evens back up here at this point, with pretty much everybody real close to being right at the beginning spot. Casely currently the chip lead, though, 14-5 prior to this hand starting. Freakchild ended up pulling up into second with that last hand win. Rounded out with Ika and Boss in third and fourth. Leary Alice a short stack, but not by much. Boss grabbing another hand here with 2 pair. Queens over 10s. Ace kicker played on that one. So no chop suey chop pot on that as we head back into No Limit Hold'em. Got a flat tire with a 6. Jack 4 suited. Now another diamond. Makes the board diamond heavy here. Boss will fold it out to Leary Alice's bet. Only with an ace 3, Boss shows off. Boss folds out. Freakchild checks the option. Jack 10-3. It is a rainbow again. 10s pair the board. Ika makes a 400 chip bet. Freakchild not playing along with that after being in the big blind. Boss with a big bet. Nobody wants to play with that one. They could feel the fire in the kitchen on what was cooking there. An extremely low board for a Hold'em hand here. 4s and then a 6-3-8. Casely liked it enough, though. Ika said no thank you. Ace 3-10. Couple of clubs and a diamond on the board. Ace 10 of clubs, 3 of diamonds. Checked by both players. Board pairs with a couple of aces now. Freak Child makes the bet. Shows off a third ace there for 3 of a kind. Blinds are up at 200, 400 for this last hand. They will move up to, what, where do we go now? 300, 600 after this. 9, King of Spades, 10 of Hearts. Everybody checking it around. Freak Child raises it up. Nobody playing with the Freak Child. Jacks and Queens sitting in that hand. Could have been dangerous. Everybody getting out of the way on that one. Blinds up at 300, 600. Boss in the small blind. Looking to limp in. She does. Freak Child checks it down. Queen 9 of Hearts, 6 of spades, whatever the hell those fucking things are. Black upside down hearts. 10 of diamonds comes out on the turn. Boss bets 12. Freak Child playing along. Jack comes out. Both players will check. Freak Child with the low end on the straight there. Boss with 3 of a kind. So Freak Child sneaking in a straight there on the low end on the river. Boss cautiously checking it, making a good play there. Leary Alice on the aggressive streak here. Wants everybody out of that hand. Ten-5 king, it's rainbowed. 10 of diamonds, 5 of spades. King of clubs. Checked around for a free card by the whole house here. Another 5 comes up on the turn. Boss likes it. For 600 to go. Freak Child, not so much. Ika says, let's see that last card. And there's a Jack of clubs. Leary Alice trying to play the role of fortune teller. And will Boss? No, Boss did not. Boss did end up with a full house, but Boss did not have the trip 5s that Leary Alice was fortune telling on that one. Nine, ace 7 of diamonds, 9 of clubs. Freak Child will bet on this one. Leary Alice along for the ride. 6 of clubs comes out to double up the clubs on the board. Both players will check for a 3 of diamonds for free. And that's a scoop. We don't have the scoop, do we? Where's our scoop? We forgot our scoop. Poker Cat needs to load up the scoop here. We have lost our scoop. There we go. Now we're prepared for a scoop again. And that's, whoa, that one's a double, that's a double run there. So that one gets a scoop, but it is as chop suey, chop pot as you possibly can get, as both players have the exact same hand. They both get the scoop. They both get the high and the low. So that's a scoopy chopper. Jack 7 deuce as we move on to this next hand. And the board goes spade heavy here with a 10 of spades on the turn. Everybody checking around. Freechild goes 24 with the king of hearts coming out on the turn or the river. Ika will call it. Freechild with the flush, nut flush there, straight for Ika Kika when that king came out, catching Broadway. Did not see the flush out there possibly. Jack ace of clubs, a 4 of diamonds. Casely, Ika, boss in this hand right now. Ika checking it over to Casely. And we will see a free 3 of diamonds. It's a 3 for free. Did you like the 3 for free? I give you this a 3 for free. Would you like a 3 too for your 3 for free? Feel like Rosanna O'Dana. Boss taking that one down. Nobody wanted to play along with that, but she showed it off anyway. Boss being the exhibitionist with the cards there. Four deuce of spades, 9 of diamonds. No limit hold'em hand here. $2,000 chip bet gets everybody out of there. Leary Alice will take some chips back. And continue the stack there right above Freakchild at this moment. Freakchild raising it up pre-flop here now. Getting callers from Leary Alice and Boss. 8 ace of diamond, or whatever those are, clubs, and a 4 of spades. Freakchild shoves all in on this one. Leary Alice in the big think tank here calls it with the ace king versus pocket nines. 9 is the only thing that can help Freakchild here. Does not catch it. Big Slick will take it down as Leary Alice builds up a humongous chip stack on that one. So Freakchild will exit the game in 5th. And Jack Queen 4 comes out on the flop. Queen 4 of diamonds. Leary Alice just took that hand down. Currently, he has a 25% win average of games played with the Syndicate in the 2026 season. Syndicate overall 8th right now. Actually comes out of Switzerland. Switzerland? Switzerland? Switzerland, you dumbass. Anyway. Because Leary Alice is always saying, I'm Swiss. I'm Swiss. I'm from the Swiss. So we say, okay. But Leary Alice now with a commanding lead here. Ika Kika with pocket 10s versus 8-6. Pair of 8s for Leary Alice. Now a spade comes. But the help does not come for Leary Alice on that one. Ika Kika will survive the all-in there. Ika Kika just taking down the Snowman bonus series a couple weeks ago. Last week, actually. Pocket tens again for Ika Kika here. Ace 5 for Boss. Catches a 5. Does not catch anything else to go with that. Ika surviving another for another double up, and that'll put her right back in the game. Even with Leary Alice having the commanding lead momentarily. Because it could all change. Ten deuces of whatever those are. Diamonds. 9 of spades. Casely goes 16. And it's a 3 of clubs on the turn. Leary Alice grabbing even more chips. Pardon me. Grabbing even more chips here. Starting to make short work of this table. Ace 10 of clubs. 3 of diamonds. Boss will add a few chips there. As we had said earlier with our 2026 Syndicate Session 1 champions, Ika Kika taking the Snowmen, Godley ended up doubling up, taking the Winter Classic, the first final table, then turned around, took the Triple Threat table, and Aaron Ramsey taking the Gatekeeper final table on Tuesdays. And just earlier this morning, Quadzilla finally grabbed a championship title in the Immortal Series. An early morning season series for him. Dedicated players, these all are. Some players playing early in the morning, no matter where they are in their part of the world. Leary Alice playing in the middle of the night, I believe, right now. Boss truly playing the Midnight Mixer, as it's midnight Eastern. Casely off in Colorado, USA. It's just after, well, it's almost 11 o'clock p.m. And Ika Kika, I believe this is a morning time game for Ika Kika. Pair of aces on the flop here. Now we've got it two paired on the board with Boss and Ika. Queen of Spades comes out on the river. And Boss's 3 of a kind finally does something for her. Low-ender qualifier right off the bat with this flop, 6-4-8. Casely with a 2,400 chip bet, almost half the stack there for her on a pot bet there. Ika calling it out. 8's pair of the board now. Casely all in. Ika Kika having to think about whether she's going to shove it and let it go, let it ride for one more card. Does. Both players, highs and low. Casely with the ace, I'm sorry, is that an ace 8? and gets the scoop to knock Ika Kika out. Ika with a 2-3-4-6-8 on the low. Did not quite make it there. So Ika Kika will head out. That is a scoop. And Casely will add some chips to make some headway back towards having a chance at getting some damage done to Leary Alice, if at all possible. Boss still with enough chips to do so herself, sitting as the low stack. Ika Kika will end the final table in 4th place. Casely betting about 3/4 pot here. Boss will call it for the extra card. 10 of diamonds, or 10 of hearts, whatever those red things are. And Casely taking down another hand with 2 pair of queens over 10s. So Casely working her way up towards Leary Alice there. As Boss makes a big pre-flop bet there with a big slick and a pair of kings there in the hole. Ika Kika just headed out, originally from St. Petersburg, Russia, now living in Georgia in Europe. Syndicate overall first, has the Horizon Series and the Ascendancy from the 2025 season. We haven't updated all these. We're getting new player profiles built for the streams, so these have not all been completely updated. But what is updated, Ika currently with a 9.52% win average on games played with the 2026 season, and won her first ever live tourney in person that she ever played. It was a free roll, though, as far as I understand. Boss headed out in 3rd place as we are heads up against with Leary Alice against Casely here. Short game tonight for this final table. Got about 2.5 minutes. We will end up going to a break, though, so we'll see what happens there. Pair of 9s bookend the board here. Casely throwing out a half pot bet here. Leary Alice folding out there. Casely also with a big slick there. Casely also not playing nearly as much yet this season with the 2026 season. Hailing from Colorado with a 15.76% win average of games overall. Sits 6th currently with the overall with the Syndicate. Was a World Shift Series champion and Omaha Overdrive Series champion in 2025, and like we said, just took the Chase Series of High Spade Chase, the Bounty Bonus Series, just a couple of nights ago. Wait, that wasn't even a couple of nights ago. That was last night. What the hell am I saying? That's how much we've been on the air in the last 2 days. Holy crap. That was just yesterday. Oh, fuck me. I'm going to go bang my head into a cement wall. 400, 800 are the blinds. Holy crap, my mic just spiked like a motherfucker there. 310 of diamonds, 6 of clubs. Casely going 24 on this. Leary Alice folding it out. Casely getting closer and closer to making this an even game, hand by hand. 9-6 of clubs, 6 of diamonds. Casely liking these cards coming out right now. 7 comes out. Another diamond on the board. And a club to finish it out in the form of a queen. 24 says Casely. And Leary Alice, no go. And that'll put us at a break for a few minutes here. Even though we're right at the cusp of the action here, heads up between Casely and Leary Alice for the title on the Midnight Mixer Series final table. But in the interim, we will be back momentarily. Let you know about some of the series that are coming up with the Syndicate Poker Club here in about a week. We will be right back.
Syndicate. Dreams and broken plans. Every backstab became a sign, and now we've redrawn the lines. Every king can lose his crown, every stack a loaded round. Every heartbeat counts the cost, every gain was once a loss. No throne was ever safely won, no war was fought without a gun. If fate was written in the flame, we struck the match and signed our names. Starts it all. Will you answer the call? The wagering rises, one table above them all. No more legends left to save, no more ghosts inside the flames. Season 0 begins tonight. The brave wager and fight.
We are about to get ready to shuffle back up and deal after this quick break. Leary Alice and Casely going heads up here. Leary Alice looking for the first crown of the 2026 season here. Casely looking to grab a second one here, keeping in pace with Godley as we get ready to get going here. Starting off with some more pot limit Omaha high-low. Blinds at 500, 1,000. Heads up for the title here. Casely with a little work to do. About half the stack of Lyrialis here. A little bit more than that. Ace-3 of spades comes out with a queen of hearts. $2,000 Casely, no match for Lyrialis. She will fold that out. Says, no thank you. Queen 6 ace. And now a deuce of diamonds. Well, there we go again. That one. It's very rare that we have to do this. And we don't have to do this, but we end up doing it anyway. We got a chop suey and a scoop on that one. No wonder both players were rambunctious on that one, dumping chips left and right. They both had the same shit. Gonna have to come up with a new graphic called the choppy, what are we gonna call it? The choppy scoopy. The scoopy choppy. Scoopy choppy. I like that one. King deuce of spades. Out there on that flop. Pace picking up here between Lyrialis and Casely. Deuces on the board now. Things getting dicey for Casely here, but able to take that pot down. Casely still about half the chip stack of Leary Alice, trying to fight back. Clubs on the board here, 10-6-3. Pace is picked up between the two ladies here. Leary Alice looking for a first crown of the 2026 season. Of the Midnight Mixer final table. 8 weeks of grinding it out for qualifying to the final table. All to boil down to this. Freakchild making the first exit of the game. And Leary Alice will only get a quarter of that. Casely actually getting the scoop on that a little bit. It's another Scoopy Choppy. Form of a Scoopy Choppy. Not a true one, though. We've seen two true Scoopy Choppies. That's what we're calling them, I think, in this game tonight. Casely back up over the 20 grand mark now. Back into some No Limit Omaha here. Or sorry, Pot Limit Omaha. Five hands of Pot Limit Omaha high. And they will move back over to high-low. Dangerous board out here with some spades and some hearts. And now another spade. Did not foresee just a pair coming out of that one. I saw the possibility of a flush, definitely a straight. I thought for sure out of the two of them there, but that was not to be. Another deuce on the turn. And a 5 to round it out on the river. And two pair jacks over deuces for Leary Alice. Eights over deuces for Casely. Not quite strong enough. Leary Alice will take that with another two pair. Nines over threes there with the pocket nines in the hand. Things getting conservative at the moment. Spades on the flop. Now we got a pair of kings on the board. 4,000 says Casely. As the blinds will go up here, Casely getting some chips back. 750, 1,500 are the blinds now. As that big blind can become a little dicey, especially in heads-up play if they keep at this pace. Jack 10 queen, 10 jack of hearts, queen of spades. More danger zone flop there. And another flop full of spades. Casely still able to keep the pace here. Larry Alice with the pre-flop triple raise there. Couple of threes and a four. Now an ace of spades on the turn. And an eight of hearts. Gives Casely the kicker on that one, with the queen in the hand. Queen 7-8. The Superman of the computer hand there. Queen 7, Queen 8. Always known as the computer hand. Doesn't matter there. It was the 6 of clubs on the turn that gave Casely a pair there. As Casely starts inching closer to Larry Alice, bridging the gap now. Pair of kings on the flop here. 10 of spades. Board goes spade heavy here. And extremely spade heavy now with a deuce. Casely flushing it out on the turn there with a queen 8 of spades. As the tables have started turning, as we have pretty much an even game here, chip stack wise. As we are in pot limit Omaha for 2 more hands here. Sorry, I can't read. It was 3 hands. Now it's 2 hands. This hand and 1 more, I do believe. Uh-oh. Larry Alice with the flush on the turn goes all in, and that will end us, as Larry Alice will take the title on the Midnight Mixer with a very huge battle with Casely. Casely's finally starting to match up there and fight back to just about even. And didn't quite make it, though, there with a flush on the board. Larry Alice had it there on the turn. Larry Alice taking the champion badge here for Midnight Mixer. The 7th title handed out for Session 1 with the Syndicate Poker Club. Casely grabbing 2nd, Boston 3rd. Ika Kika headed out in 4th. Freakchild 5th. Daniel qualified, was supposed to be there, did not quite make the game, so he ends up in 6th for the Midnight Mixer. Final table, Larry Alice, congratulations. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff that you need to do in order to know more about the Syndicate Poker Club. And check out syndicatepokerclub.com for more games, series, player profiles, and how you too can join the free poker universe of the Syndicate Poker Club. We'll catch you on the next broadcast, which will be tomorrow night for the final table of Aha Mo Omaha with more of your Syndicate favorites. We'll see you then.